Ashley, I had the honor to sit down ahead of the Paralympics with wheelchair basketball athlete Rose Hollermann. She has such an amazing story in many ways. She had to overcome a lot to get to where she is today. So I'm just really honored to bring this story to you and check out Rose Hollermann's story right now. Welcome to We Need to Talk Now, presented by AT&T. I am Alicia Jay, and today I'm so excited because I am here with Paralympian. She has a gold medal, a bronze medal, and a whole bunch of other things, but so excited to talk to her today. Thank you for joining us, Rose Hollermann. Thank you so much.
Hi. Thanks for having me. I'm excited to talk to you as well.
Well, literally, you're in Paris right now. You're getting ready
Yes.
for these games. We're so excited to watch. You know, your journey to even get to these games and all of the games that you've participated in, it has been there has been a lot that has happened in your journey. Can you tell us just a little bit about it, and fill us in on, what it took for you to get to where you are today?
Yeah. So I was in a car accident in 2001 that left me partially paralyzed from the waist down when I was 5 years old. Part of my rehab after that injury was doing sports in Courage Center, which is a rehabilitation hospital in Minnesota. And I kind of did a bunch of sports and ended up falling in love with wheelchair basketball. I was very fortunate that when I was only 15 years old in 2011, I went to a tryout camp and made the team. And I've been on the team ever since.
Wow. So you said you did a lot of sports. What made you choose wheelchair basketball out of all the sports that you did?
I mean, I really love the physicality and how fast you get to push in a chair. I was really young when I first tried it. I was only 7, and I think just like after not being able to run and play around with my friends anymore, it was kind of that setting where I could do that again and just push really fast in a wheelchair is kind of my favorite thing about it and why I ended up falling in love with it so much.
Well, I definitely have fallen in love with wheelchair basketball as well, watching it. And there's a point system that not a lot of people understand when it comes to, the athletes that play. Can you explain that for the people that don't really know about it?
Yes. So just like in all para sports, we have classification. They kind of like grade you on how disabled you are sitting in a wheelchair. It goes from 1 to 4.5 and zero point 0.5 increments. And basically, you get graded how disabled you are. The higher the points, the less disability. The 5 players on the court, when you add up the points that they're classified with, can't exceed 14 points. So I'm actually a 3.5 in wheelchair basketball, which means I'm a little bit on the higher end of that scale.
Okay, so when it comes to, preparing for these games, like you're literally in Paris right now, which is so awesome. Give us a little bit about the preparation that it takes to even get to the Olympics where you're at right now.
Um, yeah, I mean, we dedicate our lives to it all the time. We spend countless hours together. We've been actually together the last week and a half as a team, training every day and preparing for the games. Is kind of an ongoing thing that I've been a part of since 2011. So 13 years of time and energy have gone into this.
Well, that is amazing in itself, and I know you talked about preparation. There's also, like, financial preparation when it comes to these games, and the games that we just had, the Olympic Games that we had, there was a lot of talk about, like, not being supported. There were some women that felt really supported financially and some that didn't. Do you feel in the Paralympics that you are supported in that way financially?
Yeah, I think it's something that is like year by year getting better. I think like one of the biggest new kind of support systems for Team USA is through Purdue Global, who is the preferred online university and degree provider of the Guild and Team USA Learning Network. It's a really cool platform where athletes can get degrees and kind of educate themselves outside of the sport. I think that's just like an example of one of the ways that things are changing for the Paralympic movement and athletes are having more opportunity outside of the sport.
Well, you talk about opportunities outside of sport. We're not as athletes, because I was an athlete at one point in time too. We're not always going to have our sport. So, what are your plans, outside of wheelchair basketball? Like, what do you plan to do after your career is said and done?
My goal is I'm getting my master's in special ed, so I kind of want to be a teacher and give back to the community and all the people that have given to me. Just want to be a teacher and part of the education system as much as I can be.
That's amazing. I mean, literally getting prepared to give back, and you've already given back in so many different ways. So it's really amazing that you're constructing that career, in the career that you're in right now. Well, I don't even want to call it a career because I'm it's part of your dream. It's something that you love to do. But if there was, for the people out there that haven't watched wheelchair basketball or haven't watched the Paralympics, like what is your message to them to just have them to like tap in to the Paralympics?
I mean, I think the Paralympics are awesome. You could see it that like we have the support behind us. Olympians are Simone Biles told you to, so you definitely should. I also think like wheelchair basketball specifically is a fast pace, full contact sport. I think when people turn it on for the first time, they can't believe how like full contact it is. It's very intense, and I think it's super fun. And you should definitely tune in and watch us.
Listen, if you don't listen to Simone about it, I don't know who you gonna listen to. So, but I
Yeah.
seriously, well, like we talked about, you're in Paris. The last games you were in were in Tokyo. And obviously that was
Yes.
during COVID and it's going to be far different. What are you looking forward to in this Paralympics versus the last one, the last experience that you had?
Yeah, I mean, Tokyo was awesome, but it was kind of there were no fans or friends and family couldn't be there. And so for me, that's what I'm most excited. My mom and dad are coming and some of my other friends and family. And I think just having them here and that they get to be a part of this journey and to get to come along with us makes it even more special for all of us.
Absolutely. I mean, I can't even imagine playing in front of almost like nobody, compared to having your loved ones in the crowd. So that's going to be really, really amazing. Now, outside of basketball, you're in Paris. What are you most looking forward to doing?
Um, we have a team outing tomorrow to the Louvre. I think that's probably the thing that I'm the most excited about. It's going to be super cool.
Well, how can we follow you during your Paris, experience? How can we follow you? Because I know we followed you on We Need to Talk, but how can everybody follow you so they can see all these cool things that you're doing?
Well, you could find more information at purdueglobal.edu. There's also a piece telling you more about my story. You can also follow me on Instagram at rholler54, or you can follow me and all my teammates and the entire team at on Instagram at NWBA.
Amazing. We're gonna tap in every single way, and you're really getting ready to start these games. So, how do you feel
Yes.
heading into these games, and all this competition that we will be coming your way?
Good. I think we're just ready to start competing. We've been waiting for this moment for a long time and we're super, super excited and feeling very ready and good to get into the games and starting to be able to actually compete.
How long do you guys practice with each other? I know you said that you've been preparing for years, but like how long have you been with the entire team, getting ready for the games?
So we had our final tryouts in April, but actually this team is really special. It's the first time I've had this where most of us girls have been together since 2018. So I feel like we've been preparing for this moment for the last 6 years together.
Well, we are definitely looking forward to the moment and so very much for being here
Awesome.
today.
Thank you so much.
We're definitely going to look out for you at the Paralympics and we'll be watching from afar. So thank you, Rose, for being with us.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
I mean, wow.
I
Like,
know.
wow, 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 wow. I'm I'm at a loss for words, really. I don't really that's just I couldn't imagine. I just couldn't imagine. And I'm just really in awe of people who have just so much thrown at them seemingly at once, or just a domino effect, one thing after another. And instead of allowing that to kind of consume them and get the best of them and change the course of their life for the worse, they use it as motivation to live a different life than they were living, but to live one that's just as full and just as impactful. And I mean, just wow. That's really all I have.
Yeah, when I was doing my research, one of the things that her mom said is that if you want her to do something, tell her she can't do it. And
Mhm.
she's going to get out there and prove them wrong. And you can just see that with her story time and time again. I mean, for her to overcome even the death of her brothers, in the crash. I actually had a brother who was killed in a car accident when I was 15, and that pain is it to this very moment, um, it just encompasses me sometimes. And to think that not only did that happen to you, but you also were paralyzed. You also had to deal with the pain, the sorrow, the newness of what your life is like, and
Yeah.
to overcome that, and to dominate in a lot of sports. She played a lot of sports, and then she decided that she wanted to play wheelchair basketball, and she's just been, dominating in that sport ever since. And so it's very inspiring. It should be inspire everyone. And I know that I'm definitely going to keep watching her throughout the Paralympics, and just the Paralympics in itself
Yeah.
is inspiring. So
So many amazing
definitely,
stories,
yeah,
and it just reminds you sometimes. I think that, watching the Paralympics or just hearing people's stories, who are part of that, just kind of reminds you that sometimes the problems that we think are so big are just so minuscule in comparison to what other people have dealt with, have had to overcome,
yeah,
and are kind of, challenged with dealing with every single day in one way or another. It sometimes helps to put things into perspective. And not only that, but they're really, really talented athletes as well. So
very much.
there's a lot of things to take away from the Paralympics. So definitely check out, if you missed any part of that or you just want to rewatch it, it will be up on our YouTube page